Ladies and gentlemen, from the most famous arena in the world, the Mecca of boxing, Madison Square Garden, New York City, New York, USA, live on HBO pay-per-view. This is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the middleweight championship of the world. And it's all brought to you by K2 Promotions and Triple G Promotions in association with TGB. Sponsored by Tecate, Born Bold. Chavez, Win the Right Way. From the Universal Motion Pictures, The Fate of the Furious, in theaters everywhere, April 14th. Tesna Bank, Capital Holding, Hublot, the Timepiece of Champions, and the International Expo 2017 this summer in Astana, Kazakhstan. This contest sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission, Interim Chairperson Ndidi Massey, Executive Director Tony Giardina, Director of Boxing Eric Bentley. Also sanctioned by the World Boxing Council, President Mauricio Suleiman, the International Boxing Federation President Daryl Peoples, the World Boxing Association President Gilberto Jesus Mendoza, and the International Boxing Organization President Ed Levine. At ringside, the three judges scoring will be Max DeLuca, Don Trella, and Steve Weisfeld. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Charlie Finch. And now, the officials are ready. The fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, with his trainer, Andre Rozier, wearing black with gold, official weight, 159.8 pounds. He has a professional career consisting of 33 fights, 32 victories, including 29 wins by knockout with only one defeat. In his last 12 fights, he has scored 12 consecutive knockouts. From Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York, USA. He is the reigning and defending WBA middleweight champion of the world, Daniel Miracle Man Jacob. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, with his trainer, Abel Sanchez, wearing black with a perfect professional record. This Olympic medalist has 36 fights, 36 victories, including 33 wins by knockout, 23 consecutive knockouts to his credit. From Karaganda, Kazakhstan, the reigning, defending, undefeated, universally recognized middleweight champion of the world, Gennadiy Golovkin, a.k.a. Triple G.
Good evening, gentlemen. You both know the rules. Protect yourself at all times and make it a clean fight. Touch gloves now. Come on, fighting at the bell.
Referee Charlie Fitch with the instructions. Ready for round number one. Brian Kenny, Sergio Mora, and Chris Mannix with you here. And it will be interesting, as always, Sergio, to see the styles clash, see what the hand speed will bring. We know Golovkin is controlled, methodical, and you have to wonder what the two styles will bring in the ring. Long way back for Daniel Jacobs. as we get ready now for round number 1. We're underway.
And if David Lemieux was the most powerful fighter Gennadiy Golovkin has faced, Daniel Jacobs is the most skilled.
More skilled than the biggest fighter I believe he's ever fought, because Daniel Jacobs is a huge middleweight, especially after rehydrating. And since he blew off that weigh-in, he can easily come into this fight at 175, 180.
Sergio, is there still kind of a mystical quality to Golovkin that getting into the ring, even Jacobs has to wonder, what does this guy actually bring? He's won so much, he's won so impressively, he has such precision and power. Does he still have that little extra where you've got to be very wary of what you're dealing with?
Oh, absolutely. But look, we are in New York, and Daniel Jacobs is from Brooklyn. This is a big moment for him. This is a big stage. Even though he is fighting the most difficult, dangerous fighter in the world, I mean, this is motivation for him.
I think a big moment's going to be when Jacobs feels that Golovkin power for the first time, because he's heard about it. Let's see how he reacts to how he feels it.
That's always the case for fighters. We want to feel out how much power, even if you know that statistically he can punch. You still got to feel it. Sometimes it's not as powerful as they made it out to be.
Golovkin pawing out with the jab. Jacobs able to flick out a quick jab, able to use feints, able to stay engaged right in front of the champion. Now holding the jab out and pawing with some hooks.
And another thing about power punches, once you do feel that power and you take it, that just gives you added motivation, saying, well, that wasn't that bad. Now it's on, because I know I can punch just as hard if you're Daniel Jacobs.
Jacobs fires off a combination, a jab and a right hand. Not much landing there. Golovkin with the hook in the right hand. Guard tight for Golovkin. He is very good defensively. Man who controls space and distance very well.
He proved that in the Lemieux fight. Just controlled the entire tempo of the fight with the jab. I think he's going to have a similar game plan here with Jacobs. He's going to have to keep this fight in the middle of the ring and with a power jab.
Jacobs with a little more length, able to touch him with the jab. Try to get into the pocket.
You can already see Daniel Jacobs' defense a factor in this fight, whether it's slipping punches, moving away from him, or parrying them from Gennadiy Golovkin.
And that defense comes from his athleticism. He's so agile with his feet, and he keeps that distance. But look at how he's moving laterally like that. That's athleticism, and he's able to explode in and out, which is something that Lemieux couldn't do.
Round 1, a learning process for both fighters. And that's it.
Okay, now, I'd like to see a little more feinting in the jab. Even if you touch him here, it's okay. Okay? Very, very good. Got that one out of the way. Do not be reaching for him, but make sure that we get a little feint, okay? We got rounds. Just let him walk into something. Yeah. Okay? Back to the right and start touching him a little bit with the second. Yeah. Keep your hands up, though. Don't play with your defense. Okay. Take a little drink. I want that jab working up and down. Okay. And touch him a little bit with the right hand downstairs. Roll out of it. Touch and roll, all right? Stay smart, son.
Interesting advice there from Abel Sanchez in the corner with Golovkin, Sergio, and now let him run into something. In other words, stay back. Stay within yourself. Round 1. Chris, how would you even score that first round?
Tough round, but I thought Gennadiy Golovkin was the more assertive fighter. I thought he landed the more clean shots, albeit not many of them. 1 round to nothing, Gennadiy.
Even as we open up here round 2, that was one of the best punch in the fight. Just a clean jab coming off the shoulder of Golovkin early on, and Jacobs now slides to southpaw. Sergio, your thoughts on that? You're in the ring twice against Jacobs. Is he effective as a southpaw?
He's powerful from both, and he's athletic. That's the main thing. So his athleticism makes him get away with power on both sides. So you have to respect the power from the southpaw stance, absolutely.
To your point, Sergio, about the weight, I would imagine if you're a legit 160-pounder like Golovkin, you're looking across the ring, and a guy that might be 2 weight classes bigger than you, that's got to be a factor, at least mentally.
No, it's a factor mentally and physically. I remember being in front of Daniel Jacobs. I said, wow, this guy looks like a light heavyweight. I mean, he's tall, he's muscular, and he's strong and athletic. He's very agile.
So far, Jacobs really just pawing with the jab, and he slides back to the orthodox style. You see, his left jab is just vastly different from his right jab. Right jab just really falls out there, flips out there. The left jab comes out much harder. Snappy.
Abel Sanchez, Golovkin's trainer, wants him to feint. That's very interesting because we know that Golovkin's a punishing power puncher, but they still want him to be feinting because you want to see Jacobs, what he has in store. So you want to see, make him show his cards, show his punches.
Already as Jacobs has gone back to the right-handed style, his left jab is pumping out there. There it is, 2 more jabs, just at least to keep Golovkin at bay. Even if it's not landing, even if it's not damaging, it is dictating the pace of the fight. Normally, the rules of engagement are dictated by Golovkin.
When Golovkin fought Lemieux, it started slow like this. He had to respect the power. I think similar things happening here. Golovkin has to respect the size and the power punching and the speed of Daniel Jacobs. Good counter there by Jacobs.
Golovkin coming in, double jab and throwing a right hand after that. But you're right, Sergio. It's a very different fight than the Lemieux fight or the Kell Brook fight, where he now has to respect the length and the quick jabs from Jacobs and the movement as Jacobs nicely moves away from that right hand.
That's really nice. I love seeing that. Jacobs turned southpaw. He dipped, got right back to the middle of the ring. The last thing he wants is his back against the ropes.
He is not a moving target in there against Golovkin as he tries with a combination, finishes up with a hook, just cuffed Golovkin, but able to present a more difficult style to Triple G.
Rhythmic, all right? You don't have to run, but just walk. You're walking him well. Aim that jab at his chest and then at his solar plexus.
Okay.
All right? You're missing the one up top, and he's aware of that.
Okay.
He's wary of the right hand, and it ain't even hit him yet.
Okay.
Let's keep boxing smart. We're winning this, fighting power with finesse. All right? Deep breath.
Interesting opening rounds here at Madison Square Garden. Getting ready for round number 3. Brian Kenny with Sergio Mora and Chris Mannix. And again, these rounds all count. You can have an action-packed round 9 or any later round in the championship rounds, but they count just as much as the first 2. Chris, how would you score round 2?
2 rounds to nothing for Gennadiy Golovkin. It's not that Golovkin is landing incredibly impactful punches. It's just I don't see Jacobs doing enough to win either of those first 2 rounds.
But either way, Andre Rozier in Jacobs' corner, they like what they're seeing. They told Jacobs, stay rhythmic. You don't have to run, but you can walk, you can box. And they like what they're seeing so far. And I like what I'm seeing with Jacobs as well. Even though he's not winning these early rounds as expected, he's still very competitive and keeping Golovkin on his toes with those counters.
There he is again, letting loose with the combinations. I thought that was a good round, too, for Jacobs as well. Although I don't really disagree with you, Chris. You can easily score that for Golovkin, and that's why they do it. Just to give you an idea of what the judges might be looking at. Good body shot there by Golovkin as he gets in range. Golovkin methodical and subtle in a punishing sort of way. Sergio, you can see that as it might not be a barrage of punches, but it could be a body shot, it could be a hook, it just could be the hard sledgehammer jab. He hurts you.
With precision and timing, and that's what makes him so lethal. See, Jacobs, on the other hand, he's more of a brute. He's more of like a strong thudding puncher, and he is athletic and fast and everything, but he's brutish with that. Golovkin is a lot more sly with his punches. He sneaks in the power with technique.
A lot of movement by Jacobs. I mentioned long road back for Jacobs. Had a tumor wrapped around his spine. Had to battle cancer. Doctors told him he'd be fortunate if he could walk again. They told him he could not go back to the gym. He, of course, once he came out of the hospital, defied those orders, got back into the gym, found his way back into the ring, and in October of 2012, came back, fought Josh Luterin at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Fellas, I was there that night. Jacobs, after he got an easy knockout win, cried after the fight. Emotional as he throws some good body shots there, just at being able to come back to his job, to the sport that he loves.
Jacobs doing really well here. He's stabbing Golovkin down to the body, and I like seeing that, the jab going upstairs and downstairs. Like they're punching in the clinch. I also love seeing that from a challenger and a champion like that in Jacobs. Punching in the clinch. Disrespect the champion. I love what I'm seeing in this round by Danny Jacobs.
Jacobs able to finish that off with a hook on top and able to hit Golovkin. Golovkin, you can see, is a little more motivated, saying, oh, okay, I got hit with something real. Doesn't happen often, as we've fought 3.
Good round. You just got to be more aware, okay? No free shots out there. You got to be more aware. Ben, water? Okay, here we go. Okay, now, we landed the uppercut. Let's get a little feint going with the uppercut and then land something. But bring it all the way back because he's countering, all right? All right.
Son,
yes, sir.
I want that jab working up and down. Close the defense on that side. And every once in a while, get a little bit closer, hurt him to the body. He don't like it downstairs. You hear me?
That uppercut barely missed right there. And Golovkin loves that uppercut. It's so sneaky. And that's the punch that I like by Jacobs. Punching inside in the clinch. I want to see more of that. Disrespect the champion.
Hey, if the referee, doesn't say break or stop punching, you can punch out of that situation, and Jacobs did just that. Ready now for round 4, Madison Square Garden. Brian Kenny with Sergio Mora and Chris Mannix. As we see the top of the food chain here at 160 pounds. Canelo Alvarez may be the lineal champ, but many feel Golovkin is the man at 160. He has many of the belts in the middleweight division. And Daniel Jacobs with a chance of a lifetime. Good jab by Golovkin to open round 4.
You love that lineal championship, don't you, Brian?
The man who beats the man is the man. Unless you put the title on ice, Chris. We've had these discussions. Good right hand, and down goes Jacobs. Golovkin puts Jacobs down.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Jacobs turned southpaw, and he got caught in the middle of switching right there.
There is the power of Gennadiy Golovkin. Quickly. And a good jab right away. Sergio, as you said earlier, it is sometimes sly. It is subtle. You might not see it, but you feel it. Another right hand as now Golovkin looks to stalk.
We mentioned the first time Daniel Jacobs feels that power of Golovkin. We'll see what he has. That was the first time he felt Gennadiy's power.
And an uppercut as well. 2 hard jabs from Golovkin.
And Jacob says, bring it on. He's still clear-eyed. He's still in this fight. He knows that he expected to get hurt. Maybe not drop, but he expected to get hurt.
Golovkin goes to the body after a jab. Now back to the jab. He will take his time. First knockdown of the fight. Jacobs again just with the 1 pro loss, but he knows he's in with a different level fighter here tonight. Maybe the best in the world.
Andre Rozier in Jacobs' corner yelling at his man, walk. And by that he means he doesn't want Jacobs to move around the ring because then Golovkin's just going to be able to walk towards him with that power. He needs him to slyly go to the angle with a walking and jabbing, power jabbing up and down, controlling the tempo of the fight.
Combination from Jacobs, keeping Golovkin at bay. And you're right, Sergio, as we see a little uppercut there by Golovkin, but Jacobs, despite being knocked down, is clear-eyed and aggressive in this round.
And he has his hands up. He's not moving anymore. He's actually catching those punches by Golovkin. That means he felt the power. Like you mentioned earlier, Chris, once you feel the power and you clear your head out of it, you realize you can take it. Jacobs is in front of him, hands up, ready to counter.
Both men with good jabs there. Jacobs trying to establish himself right in front of Golovkin. A little less movement now, standing right in front of the champ. Hook and a right hand from Golovkin. Jacobs tries to answer back, but this has got to be a 10-8 round. Gennadiy Golovkin with the knockdown in round 4.
Don't wait for him. That was totally unnecessary. Deep breath, regain control. I want you back on that jab, walking him. It will come.
Okay.
Relax, relax, it will come. Keep the stick on him, touch him, and soften him up. That's what we do.
Two right hands from Golovkin there. Sergio, as you mentioned, Jacobs switching from one side to another, got caught in between, and Golovkin able to hit him twice off the ropes and just off balance, but that's a clean knockdown.
And that's the thing about switching so much. When you turn southpaw, you may be able to punch really hard from that angle, but it's defensively that you'll be vulnerable.
Round 5 here in New York City. We're at Madison Square Garden. Gennadiy Golovkin defending his middleweight belts against the Miracle Man, Daniel Jacobs. The knockdown in round 4 as we open up round number 5.
Don't hold each other.
What do you think of the advice, Sergio, in the corner from Rozier? In that relax, let it come to you, use the stick.
Well, I love the advice from Rozier, and they want him to walk Jacobs back with the jab, and they're telling him patience is going to be key here. You got to relax. You got to walk him back, use that stick up and down, and by that he means Jacobs to stab down to the body and throw the jab upstairs as well.
And as I say that, you just see a barrage of scoring blows from Golovkin. The jab is sharp. Now Jacobs fires back. He seems comfortable, but he is getting outpointed. Has he taken a round yet, Chris?
I gave him the third round. It was close, but 39-36 in favor of Gennadiy Golovkin with that 10-8 round. What Jacobs has to be wary of is we saw against David Lemieux, that piston rod jab, that's what wore him down. That's what took him out of the fight. Jacobs can't allow that punch consistently land.
Lead right there by Golovkin. That lands as well.
And sometimes when a fighter gets dropped, that's the best thing that can happen to him, as long as it happened early and the cobwebs are out, because then you realize, okay, the worst happened, now I can fight my fight, and we're seeing that with Jacobs now.
Jacobs back to southpaw. We'll see if there was anything a little more effective from this stance. There wasn't the first time around.
Jacobs comfortable in that left-handed stance. He must see something that's disturbing the onslaught of Golovkin coming forward.
Is he offensively effective, though, Sergio?
No, as a southpaw stance, I don't think he's offensively effective, but he is keeping the aggression off slightly, because Golovkin probably didn't expect this.
A body shot there by Jacobs, and there's a sharp right jab by the man from Brooklyn, former amateur champion.
And not only is he fighting from the southpaw stance, but he's the taller, rangier, heavier, more athletic fighter Jacobs is. So if you add all that from a southpaw stance, which Golovkin probably didn't expect and train for, it can also pose some problems the later the fight goes.
Lead left hand there by Jacobs, lunging in there.
Good body shots by Jacobs right there from the southpaw stance. I like to see more of that, more to the body.
And there's two jabs flicking out. Again, they're not landing, but that is a different level jab. I wonder if he can keep that up. Again, you've got to keep Golovkin at bay. He will walk through you if you don't throw something hard straight up the middle.
You got to keep him at bay, but you can't just keep running. You have to get your respect. You have to dig down and dig to the body. I mean, that's what he's been doing. This is a good round by Daniel Jacobs, in my opinion.
Golovkin touches him with an uppercut. Jacobs goes bounding back as we have fought 5 rounds here at the Garden.
Okay, very good.
Son, is when you stop. Didn't we talk about this? I want you to keep walking with that jab, touch him to the body a little bit. He don't like the body shots. But be smart.
Okay.
Be smart. We can win this round by round. Okay. And that's what I want.
Okay.
Good shot there by Golovkin. Jacobs already felt that power. He already tasted that power, so he took that punch well and kind of rolled with it.
Ready for round 6. Andre Rozier in Jacobs' corner, saying we can win these rounds, win it round by round. I wonder if that's the case. Again, you could make a case that many of these rounds are close. Chris Mannix, even as we talked about scoring the first 2 rounds, possibly could a judge reasonably have it either way?
Could, but I thought Golovkin was the far busier fighter early on. Daniel Jacobs is going to have to get more assertive and land some bigger, cleaner shots if he wants to get back into this fight.
He does that early on here in round number 6 as Golovkin starts to stalk and walk him down. Jacobs back in the southpaw stance and a little more aggressive with that right jab.
In that last round, I think Jacobs did some really good things, especially after getting knocked down. So even though he probably didn't win the card, in my opinion, I think he did really well to close it off, especially after getting knocked down.
Good scoring jab there by Jacobs. Able to land there and follow up with a left hand. Now Jacobs able to score, fighting left-handed.
Keep walking. There you go.
There's a lead left hand there by Jacobs. Now Golovkin able to touch him. Hit him with a hook.
Don't pull up.
It's interesting talking to Daniel Jacobs about how and why he decides to go southpaw. There really isn't a method to his madness in all this. It's just how he feels when he decides to switch between orthodox and southpaw.
That's normally the case. You don't do it to be effective. You do it just to buy some time, either if you want to give your opponent a different look and then start from an orthodox attack.
And maybe he believes that it leads to more success even when you switch back to right-handed, which he did right there. Good body shot and a right hand by Jacobs to the body of Golovkin.
Love that body shot. Love that body shot right there. I want to see more of that on Jacobs' part. He's a power puncher, dig downstairs.
Well, that is a question, Sergio. Can you change the terms of this fight by the work rate alone, or do you open yourself up to sharp counters from Triple G?
You're going to have to open yourself up. If you want to win this fight, you want to beat a monster, a champion like Golovkin, you're going to have to take some chances here. And Jacobs is opening up. I could see him doing some really risky things in there. You don't want to go punch for punch with Golovkin, but you definitely need to get your respect.
And Brian, we're not seeing the same type of body work from Golovkin in this fight that we saw against Lemieux. Remember that first knockdown against Lemieux was from a shot right to the midsection. Golovkin largely headhunted in this fight.
And Golovkin, coming off a win over Kell Brook, was able to break him down, literally, and break his face and cause him to quit. That is against a smaller man. Brook, a good welterweight, decent at 154. This is at 160. As we mentioned, fighting a bigger man now here in Daniel Jacobs, but Jacobs putting up a very good fight. We have seen Golovkin dominate in this division, dominate in his career, and this is a good scrap through 6.
Control first. Let's go. Control. Yeah.
Listen to me. And I want you to remember this. If you box him all night, you win every round.
Okay.
Do not engage unnecessarily.
Okay.
Just keep sticking him up and down, and don't wait for him.
Rinse him out. Over here.
Right here. You hear me? Don't wait for him. Just keep walking, touch him up and down with the jab, and fire that right hand across when you see him wait. This is swelling on him.
Okay.
Take advantage of the moment.
Uppercut missed, but the right hand did not. Daniel Jacobs. And what Andre Rozier is saying there, Sergio, maybe you could explain it to some of the more casual fans out there. When you're telling a man to box, it means, it doesn't mean, you're not fighting. It means you're on your toes, you're jabbing, and the occasional right hand when it presents itself.
No, you still have to punch, of course, because you're not going to win the round without punching, but they want him to jab upstairs and downstairs and control the tempo of the fight. Give him angles. Don't let Triple G plants his feet and get those power shots off. That's what he means by boxing. Sticking that jab in his face constantly, upstairs and downstairs.
And I love the demeanor of Andre Rozier in that corner as well. I mean, there are different ways to motivate and speak to your fighter. Teddy Atlas had one way, but I like the calmness and the matter-of-factness of Andre Rozier between us.
And encouragement as well, even saying good job. And that was a good round 6 for Daniel Jacobs. He was effective there. Good body work there by Jacobs. as we're in round number 7 here at Madison Square Garden. Gennadiy Golovkin, Daniel Jacobs for the middleweight title. Several of the belts at 160 pounds.
Yeah, Andre Rozier really does choose the right words. I love the way he says them. I mean, he even said rhythmically earlier. He says, we win this fight rhythmically. You box, there's no way Triple G beats you.
You do love a good word from Sergio.
Yes, I do. Very confident Jacobs is now. Look, he's fighting from that southpaw stance. You see the bravado coming out of him. No more respect here for the power punching of Golovkin.
Flicking a hard right jab as well. That's something Golovkin has to respect. A little unorthodox, but with a left-handed power shot coming out. And Golovkin's train is slow. Body work by Jacobs and comes up top.
And this is something of a new experience for Gennadiy Golovkin. You don't see too many, if any, fighters at this stage of a fight against him being this assertive and landing this many big shots.
And look, he's the one landing, Jacobs is. So Golovkin is moving forward, doing the stalking. But if you're a judge, what you are looking for are scoring blows. That's it. No ring generalship, no anything else. How often are you scoring on your opponent?
Golovkin, I think, has gotten a little bit too happy headhunting, and that's what happens when you drop your opponent so early in the fight, and that's why I think Daniel Jacobs is having success. Golovkin's headhunting too much.
Good work here in round 7 for Daniel Jacobs. Fighting here in front of many of his fans, and I've seen him come up through his Golden Gloves titles in Brooklyn, national amateur champion, multiple Gold Gloves champion. Golovkin with the right hand. He was the golden child coming out of Brooklyn before his loss to Dmitry Pirog. Then his battles with cancer. Now he is back and at the top of the fight game.
10 seconds to the bell. Okay, no punch, no punch.
Jacobs acknowledges that after the bell, but a spirited round 7 and a good round for Jacobs.
Love the confidence I'm seeing from Daniel Jacobs here.
That was a little better round. We cannot just let him work by himself. We have to be initiating, okay? Here, Ben. Deep breath.
Turn on a short right hand. You can win this easy as pie, son. Okay. Don't make mistakes.
Okay.
Give me a deep breath.
You hear what he said? Stay focused, D.
Consistency is what wins this. We fight fire with finesse. Deep breath, control it. Keep boxing his ass up. Attack his left cheek with the jabs in the right hand. All right, let's keep winning round by round.
Pretty simple and pretty good analysis there. Fighting fire with finesse and boxing his ass off is Daniel Jacobs. Chris Mannix, you gave him round 7?
Yeah, I gave him round 7, 4 rounds to 3, 67-65 with the knockdown. Give Jacobs a ton of credit. He has closed the gap after that 4th round knockdown.
It makes a good point, Sergio, in that Jacobs on his toes, flicking out a jab either with the left hand or the right hand, is an effective Daniel Jacobs.
Jacobs already got respect from the southpaw stance and the orthodox stance. It's the body shots, not only the jabs, but the body shots that got Golovkin's attention in that last round also.
Golovkin has steamrolled through 154 pounds and 160 pounds. Jacobs is trying to stymie that. He looks confident, moving his head. And now back to the southpaw stance and fighting left-handed again.
And Golovkin has to respect this agility from Jacobs. Not only that, but the size and the power. The rangier, more athletic fighters is forcing Golovkin to fight Jacobs' fight.
Tripling up on the jab now, Daniel Jacobs. Maybe only one landed. There's a sharp jab by Golovkin. Haven't seen that in a while. When you watch Golovkin fight, as his head to snap back again, Jacobs with another good jab. You get used to seeing one jab after another land from Golovkin, and I don't think we've seen that, fellas. Correct me if I'm wrong in these last couple of rounds.
No, it's because Jacobs is not standing in front of him for long enough to get those consistent jabs. He's getting in angles and pivoting and landing jabs of his own, upstairs and downstairs, just like he did right there. Beautiful body work right there by Jacobs.
Scintillating combination by Jacobs. Again, it's not hurting Golovkin. Those are scoring shots as we are now in round 8 here at Madison Square Garden.
The thing about a body shot, not always does it hurt you, it just stings you sometimes, and they accumulate. They'll sometimes take the wind out of you, the wind out of your sails, so to speak, but that's what I think I'm seeing right here. Jacobs landing some sneaky body shots.
And there a right hand as well, maybe cuffed, almost blocked by Golovkin. But any judge is going to be swayed by the activity and the ability to touch your opponent.
Jacobs' trainer said that if we box, we win this fight. And we could see a glimpse of that right here because Jacobs having a little success fighting the inside. But then when he boxes, he's in total control behind that jab.
Good right hand by Golovkin. Trying to stay in control. And boxing, a good jab as well. When Jacobs is in front of him, it's a different fight. Another jab by Golovkin. And able to block those body shots. Jacobs fighting out of the clinch. Final 10 seconds here in round 8. As Golovkin looks to score and punctuate the round.
That was close. You made it close.
Yo, this round now.
Stick to the game plan. I want you moving that jab up and down. When he gets close to you, fire quick too. Okay. And then step around him. You still in front of him. Give me that. All right? Give me a deep breath. It's close. Yes, it's close. I'm gonna keep it real. But you're ahead right now.
Jacobs busy with the combinations and able to land that right hand. Again, just behind the glove. Golovkin, though, it's almost better to see him in slow motion. You see the subtle shots, the short shots from Triple G. I liked Andre Rozier, Chris saying, hey, I'm going to keep it real. It's close. It seems like Jacobs is at the very least back in this fight. How do you have it on your scorecard?
He's back in this fight, but I agree with Andre as well. He made that last round close, and I thought Golovkin's cleaner shots were the advantage. So I have him leading 77 to 74.
Round 9 here at Madison Square Garden, New York City. Gennadiy Golovkin, 36-0, 33 wins by knockout. We are used to seeing him thoroughly dominate his opponents. That has not been the case tonight. A spirited challenge by Daniel Jacobs of Brooklyn.
One thing that's more noticeable in this fight than the previous Golovkin fights, the difference in hand speed between Jacobs and Golovkin is significant. Golovkin may be the bigger puncher, is the bigger puncher, but Jacobs' hand speed is allowing him to land some clean shots.
And Jacobs with his feet able to stay out of range, able to dictate the rules of engagement. You see there he steps back up, lands a right hand, because Golovkin, his punches, Sergio, are tight. They're short. Many times you don't even see them. He's got tremendous power. You see the jab right there when he's able to stand close. Jacobs has not allowed this fight to stay on the inside.
What I've noticed is Triple G has been putting enough pressure to be, maybe that's the reason that Jacobs is switching stance so much, because of Golovkin's pressure. He's forcing Jacobs to have to reset his position.
It's a good point. There is constant pressure from Golovkin. Even when he's not landing, he is constantly pressing forward. His punches are short and crisp. He's aware of the space. He controls distance very well. Jacobs has been able to negate much of that by staying out of range.
Break! No punches! No punches! No punches. Sorry, bro.
Good uppercut by Golovkin. Did he actually say he was sorry? I think he did.
I think I heard sorry as well. It was that elbow to the back of the neck of Jacobs.
He said sorry, because he heard the ow from Jacobs, and Golovkin, and sportsmanlike, said sorry. Okay, and we fight on.
There's that sneaky body shot by Jacobs inside. I want to see more of that. And if you notice, Golovkin has been able to out-jab the taller fighter right here. He's been jabbing some really good shots that have gotten close enough to land those uppercuts like he did right there.
Little giddy up at the step there from Golovkin as he steps up the attack. landed with a lead uppercut, and now able to land on Jacobs. This is the best Golovkin we've seen in several rounds.
And it's the jab. It's because he's out jabbing Jacobs in this fight, getting closer, being able to land those uppercuts in the middle. So Jacobs has nowhere to hide.
Good hook by Jacobs, countering. But Golovkin slapped it into a different gear.
You're making it hard. You had that round, and you're giving it back by getting careless. I do not want you pulling back and playing. I want that jab working up and down. Stick the bit right here. Come on. Come on. Wrist is my...
Okay, here we go. If you throw it to that spot, he's not gonna slip it. It's gonna catch it. It's gotta be here, okay? I don't care where it hits, just as long as it hits something. Don't miss over the top.
There's the lead uppercut. Golovkin jumping to his man. I mentioned slapping it into another gear, just a different level of energy. That's what bothered Andre Rozier, but the punches are short and a much more aggressive Golovkin at the end of round 9 as we get ready now, round 10, here for the middleweight title. Golovkin immediately opens up with the jab. Chris Mannix had to score that round.
I gave that round to Gennadiy Golovkin. I agree with Andre Rozier again. He kind of gave it away, Daniel Jacobs did, towards the end of it. One thing he's got to be wary of, in an effort to be more offensive-oriented, Jacobs has dropped his hands a little bit on the defensive side. That allows Golovkin, an extremely accurate puncher, to land clean shots, and the kind of shots judges, it makes it easy for him.
Golovkin getting in close now. Jacobs, though, doing the work. Fires a hook to the body.
Another sneaky shot in the inside that caught Golovkin's attention. It was a body shot, a left hook to the breadbasket of Golovkin. I think that caught his attention. Jacobs might have hurt something in there. You know when you land a good shot because your opponent reacts to it with a oomph.
Golovkin there landing a shot to the body with the right hand. He is also trying more right uppercuts. He must see something. You see the way that Jacobs is leaning. And that fight, that punch has come to the fore. Good jab by Golovkin.
Oh, yeah, no, I think Jacobs definitely caught Golovkin's attention to the body right there. Right here we see Jacobs switching southpaw again, but he was landing those body shots from the orthodox stance.
Wigging hook by Jacobs over the top. Body work there and finishes up with the head. Nice combination by Jacobs.
And notice when Jacobs went to the body, the first thing that Golovkin did was clinch his elbows in. He doesn't want to get hit to the body again.
Now it's funny, Sergio, I don't remember Golovkin ever getting hurt. I was going to say hurt to the body, but I mean hurt.
I've never seen him hurt either.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing about fighters like Golovkin. He reminds me of like the great Julio Cesar Chavez. You never know when they're hurt because they're so good at taking a punishment, and they hide it well.
And they don't take many shots to begin with. Their defense is tight. They're focused. They're consistent. Jacobs, good work though. Straight up the middle, fighting left-handed and with a beautiful jab.
And Golovkin, another thing he does to resemble the great Chavez is he rolls with a shot. Sometimes when it looks like he gets hit with a shot upstairs, he turns his neck to take the power out of the punch.
Into the championship rounds, a good action here, just as Golovkin picks things up and takes, we believe, round 9. Now in round 10, Daniel Jacobs able to answer.
We're starting to enter territory that Gennadiy Golovkin is not all that familiar with. This is a knockout artist who usually gets things done in the first half, within the first 10 rounds of fights. Daniel Jacobs got a little more experience going deep.
And has he invested enough to the body? Because he started headhunting, Golovkin did, after that knockdown. So did he invest enough to the body to take it out of these later rounds, take the legs away from Jacobs in the championship rounds?
Both men exchange now at the end of round 10.
Get that bucket over here. Give me that mouthpiece. Rinse him. Give me that water. Give me that. Rinse.
You got that?
Yes, but listen to me. I don't want you to be careless in round 11 and 12. You understand me?
Stay focused.
Take a deep breath. Reset. Take a deep breath and reset. You got 2 rounds to go to change history, son. Look at me. You got 2 rounds.
cuffing shot there from Daniel Jacobs that connects, and that got Golovkin's attention as well. But Jacobs had a terrific round in round number 10.
2 rounds to change history. Andre Rozier saying that to Daniel Jacobs. He shakes his head, ready to go. And as we get into round 11, Sergio Mora, if they do get into a firefight, who does that benefit?
Golovkin, he has a better technique. And we've seen Jacobs go down before. So Golovkin is the type of power puncher that doesn't go down, and he takes a good punch, and he has a better technique.
Better fighter at close range, too, would you say?
I believe so, yes, but the more athletic, rangier fighter is Jacobs.
Golovkin looks to get in close, and his punches are short. They come right off his shoulder. There's no load up. There's no tell. They come effortlessly right off his shoulder and back. Tremendous power as he looks to close the gap. Has he won enough rounds?
Now, Jacobs doesn't have to get reckless here. This is still the type of fight where he could still win it on the judges' scorecards.
Uppercut there again. That's been an effective shot for Golovkin.
The jab and the uppercut has been very effective for Golovkin. Like he did with the Lemieux fight, it was the jab, the power jab that really did it for him. But right here, Jacobs is holding his own with body shots and jabs upstairs and downstairs of his own.
Doubling up on the hook. Jacobs effective there. Left hook's landing on the chin of Golovkin after the body shot.
Hold him, Danny.
Right there, Golovkin wants to hold a little bit. Jacobs wants to punch in between. So I think there's a little bit more in the tank with Jacobs here in these later rounds.
Good job by Charlie Fitch, the referee, as well. Let the men fight out of it. You don't have to break them up. They can do it themselves. They're not looking to clinch, at least not too much. And now he'll break them.
Yeah, see, I disagree, Sergio. This round, to me, looks like there's been a little bit of steam taken off Danny Jacobs. He's still throwing. He's not moving as well, I think, in this round.
No, maybe not moving, but look at when they get close. Who's the one that reaches out to clinch? It's Golovkin, in my opinion. So when they're getting close, the first one running a clinch is Golovkin.
A fiery combination from Jacobs as well.
There it is right there. See, the first one that wanted a clinch in the inside was Golovkin, extending both arms.
Good uppercut by Jacobs as well, able to touch Triple G on the inside.
Good body shots there right there. See, Lee, that's the reason that Golovkin wants to clinch, is those body shots there. Golovkin coming forward nicely. Jacobs boxing nicely too.
And to see Jacobs as well fire off 2 hooks after the right uppercut to the body. Just a good way to unleash the repertoire.
Keep it clean, guys.
Not be predictable in front of your man, even when you're in the 11th round. Good combination by Jacobs, able to hit Golovkin again.
Good exchange right there. Jacobs took that left hook well.
Big end to round 11. 1 more to go.
Good round, but not busy enough in spots. Okay, don't go crazy on me at the end there. Do not go crazy on me. Be confident of your shots, but be better defensively. Okay. Now better jabs. Better jabs and work into a shot. Okay, we're looking for one. 1, 2, 3, cover, counter. Okay.
Давай, Дем, последний раунд. Не хапай лишнее, побей его, не давай ему.
I'm still gonna ask you for that shot over here. All right.
Good short chopping right hook by Jacobs that gave him the confidence to yell out and say, come on, bring it.
And just as we say that Golovkin is the better fighter on the inside, Jacobs there, beautiful work. 2 hard shots in round 11, and now the 12th and final round. Daniel Jacobs has made a good show of it. Tremendous challenge to the undefeated Triple G. Chris Mannix, how do you have it scored going into the last round?
I've got it 106 to 102. There were a couple of swing rounds there where it could have gone either way, but Daniel Jacobs has to make sure he wins this round and wins it decisively to give himself a chance on these cards.
The thing that Golovkin does really well in the close rounds, he punches in those judge-friendly punches, and that's in a close round, that's what matters. That's what stands out.
Jacobs fluid going from left-handed to right-handed, orthodox to southpaw. Golovkin throwing lots of right uppercuts. The judges Max DeLuca, Don Trella, and Steve Weisfeld. Weisfeld, one of the better judges in boxing. And some of these rounds are difficult, as Chris Mannix to point out. I think it's important to point out, you could score it one way, but realize a reasonable judge could have it otherwise. It's not some perfect science figuring out who's winning these rounds.
Another sneaky body shot right there by Jacobs. This is a look, it's a close fight. In my opinion, it's going to be difficult to score.
Spinning around, and Golovkin landed a hook, but there are a lot of chopping right hands landing from Jacobs as well. Golovkin in a real fight. Unmarked, does not look hurt, rarely looks hurt, rarely looks phased, but there's a straight right hand from Jacobs. Jacobs now with the combination and finishing with the uppercut.
Break! No punches, guys, no punches.
Jacobs with a good work rate here to the very end. Throwing everything he has. You can see he's exhausted, but stays on his toes and throwing combinations, not one punch at a time. Golovkin lands with a straight right hand.
These are two champions fighting like champions in the championship round. Just very impressive. Jacobs doing everything he can to close out this fight.
Jacobs, though, is the man who is knocked down back in round 4. That takes a point away. Again, there's a very pleasing style from Golovkin. Judges friendly. You shouldn't have to do more than just win the rounds, although Golovkin perhaps gets a benefit of the doubt, being the established champ in this fight. A good action back and forth.
10 seconds in the fight.
Final seconds.
You're never going to have to question Danny Jacobs' heart or chin after going 12 rounds with a monster like Golovkin.
The Miracle Man drops to his knees after 12 hard rounds. Did he do enough to become the middleweight champion of the world? His family might think so. Golovkin's corner appears confident. Sharp performance by Golovkin. But Chris, he was really challenged in this fight.
He was, and you could tell by the way Golovkin fought that last round that in his mind, the fight was in doubt. He didn't play it safe. He went out there and tried to score, and I thought he won that fight.
Daniel Jacobs telling Golovkin, you're a professional, great respect between these two fighters and two champions. Just an outstanding performance, and we have rarely seen, if ever, maybe we've never seen Golovkin challenged like that.
No, I think it's safe to say that was the stiffest test of Gennadiy Golovkin's career.
Daniel Jacobs' stock just went up with one of the best middleweights in the world. Faced adversity, got up from the canvas, fought off the monster, and closed out the fight.
And yet that might be the difference right there. Again, it's a difficult sport to score. You're judging it round by round. The 10-9 system is flawed, clearly. And one of the few things you have that's kind of ironclad as a judge is when there's a knockdown and everything else being equal, that's a 10-8 round. So that's an extra point that goes to Gennadiy Golovkin. New York fans, Brooklyn fans are here. They saw a great challenge from Jacobs. Chris, how did you have it scored?
My final card was 116-111 in favor of Gennadiy Golovkin. A couple of swing rounds, but I thought he won pretty decisively in this fight. It's no disparagement against Daniel Jacobs. He fought well, but Gennadiy Golovkin's continued ability to land clean shots, especially with that jab, I thought was the difference.
So you had it 8-4. That's basically 8-4 with the knockdown.
Yes.
So if you could swing 2 rounds back, which perhaps you could, then you could have a draw. It doesn't have to be controversial, but we expect a close decision from what was an outstanding fight. Let's go to the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Mecca of Boxing, Madison Square Garden, New York City, we go to the scorecards. A round of applause for both fighters in this middleweight contest. Don Trella and Steve Weisfeld have it 115, 112. Max DeLuca scores at 114 to 113 to the winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated and still the universally recognized middleweight champion of the world, Gennadiy Golovkin, a.k.a. Triple G.
114, 113, 115, 112. Twice, including by Steve Weisfeld, who I have enormous respect for. Chris, your thoughts on the scoring?
I thought it was fair. I thought the judging went the right way. I know Daniel Jacobs disappointed, but Gennadiy Golovkin built up a lead in those early rounds, and Daniel Jacobs couldn't win it back.
Sergio?
I really like the way Daniel Jacobs fought. It was those sneaky body shots in the inside, the ring generalship. I mean, this fight could have easily been a draw, but Golovkin by 1 round, in my opinion.
Golovkin gets the win, hard-earned, an outstanding performance by Daniel Jacobs, but it's Golovkin who remains undefeated, 37-0. Chris Mannix and Sergio Mora, I'm Brian Kenny. Thank you for watching Triple G versus Daniel Jacobs here on Dazn.